Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eli and I like to talk about books. Today, however, we're not talking about books. If you can tell from my sweater, today we're going to be talking about Heartstopper. Is it a surprise to anyone? I don't think so. I happen to be obsessed with the show and I have 10 minutes before I have to leave to go to work. So I'm going to talk about things in Heartstopper that no one really needs to care about. It doesn't need to be said. But I'm going to say it anyway because I just love Heartstopper and why not, you know? Why not mention the little things that I've noticed after watching the show as many times as I have. Huge spoiler warning for this, by the way. I think I should preface this whole video with spoiler warning for Heartstopper. If you haven't finished Heartstopper and you don't want spoilers, do not watch this video. If you want spoilers, I guess go ahead, but watch the show first. Okay. We're going to start off in the order that I've written them, which ends with a happy moment, but does not start with one. So my first thing, this comes in episode 1. So these are kind of all over because as I watch the show again, I start to realize them more. So they're not in order, they're not in episodic order. They don't necessarily happen like once per episode or anything like that. It's just kind of how I articulated them, just in the order that I did. The first thing we're gonna talk about is the biggest thing, Charlie's self-worth. Now, he dates Ben Hope. It shows you a lot about the way that Charlie thinks about himself, but the fact that he dates Ben Hope, that he considers himself to be dating Ben Hope, he considers Ben Hope to be his boyfriend. This man who will not acknowledge him outside of being alone with him. This man who says, oh, we hang out at school. And Charlie thinks this is a boyfriend. Charlie thinks Ben Hope is boyfriend material. No. It explains a lot about Charlie's self-worth. It also explains the scene in episode 4 when they're sitting in the art room having lunch. They, being Nick and Charlie, are sitting in the art room having lunch, and Charlie says, oh, you're nothing like Ben. It's because Nick is nothing like Ben, because Nick acknowledges Charlie as a person, as a really good friend, even if he doesn't acknowledge that they're dating, which is, you know what, valid, fair, we understand why Nick does it. Still not great, but it's okay. Even if Nick does not acknowledge that Nick and Charlie are dating, he still hangs out with Charlie like he has always been hanging out with Charlie. Ben won't even acknowledge Charlie's existence. He won't even say hi to him in the corridor. So the fact that Charlie thinks that Ben was a boyfriend to him, no. It makes my heart hurt so much for Charlie because that is not a good relationship at all. If your partner does not acknowledge you when you're not together, I'm sorry, but you're not dating. That's not a friendship. That is woof. And it just makes Nick so much better as a character because Nick doesn't care about being seen with Charlie. And Charlie worries more about it because of the way that Ben has treated him. And Charlie, yeah, it just shows you how much Charlie doesn't think he's worth anything. And, God, okay, that's my little rant. That's the biggest one. That one really gets me because it makes me just want to cry. We have a Harry thing. Elle says this, and she's right. Harry's a massive transphobe. Because, excuse me, but, so Elle, I believe this is in episode 7. Elle says to Tao, oh yeah, Harry used to pick on me. And Tao is like, what? And then later in the episode, Harry takes the drawing of a shoe that Tao and Elle have worked on together, and Elle signed Tao and Elle. He says, who's Elle? It's like, brother, you picked on her less than a year ago. You know who she is. And that just shows you how much of a complete dickwad he is, because he doesn't even recognize that they're the same person. That one did not hit me until later, and wow. Harry is not a redeemable character at all. Oh, he sucks. And then something happy for me anyway. So in episode 5, when they're playing Monopoly and they're arguing about who should win, And Tao and Charlie are like, it's the superior business person, you know? And, well, I'm the superior business person, seeing as I have more money. I'm the superior. Anyway, they say business person and not businessman. Even though both Tao and Charlie identify as male, they don't say businessman. They say business person. And that is such a small thing. And it just makes me really happy. Gender inclusivity. Woo! We love it. There's another moment that happens again, I think. Oh yeah, like, Nick is the straightest person I've ever seen. They don't say straightest boy. They don't say straightest guy. Straightest person. And like, again, Nick identifies as male, but Elle and like their whole friend group all use inclusive language, and that is just makes me super happy. Okay, the next point I have, this one is a little bit less thought out in my brain, but when Tao says that he's a token straight boy, he very clearly identifies as straight, but he's still into Elle. And we know, obviously, that Tao knows that Elle is trans, but that's not a problem for him. And I think that this is a big, 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 big plus for the trans community, because you don't need to identify as not straight to date someone who is trans. I don't know. I personally think that is totally obvious knowledge, but I also know that some people probably don't, and don't believe that or don't think that. Tao is straight, and I don't know if Elle is straight, but Elle's into Tao, and it's just, it makes me happy that is just a non-issue at all, because I don't feel as though it is yet currently a non-issue, and like, it's not a cisgender relationship, but it's a heterosexual, heteronormative relationship, boy-girl. But it's still queer. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't really have like formulated thoughts about that, but the fact that it's included and just makes me happy. The whole show makes me happy. Can you tell? It's crazy, right? All right. And we're also, another thing about Tao and Elle, they own the whole friend group, like Charlie, Isaac, Tao, Elle, that whole friend group, and Nick too a little bit. They all say I love you to each other. Like, in a not weird way. You know? And I mean, I say I love you to my friends, but I also would never have done that before high school. And probably not even before like 11th grade. So it's just so cool that they can say, like, especially Tao and Elle, who obviously, at least by the end of the season, have romantic feelings for each other. There's a moment in the 8th episode, right? But at least for Elle, it's very obvious from the beginning. It's so cool that they can just say, I love you. And it's not like, oh my God, you love me? And it's not like, okay, I love you too, but not like that. It's just like, they love each other. And Charlie and Tao text each other they love you. Like, it's just normal. It is normal to tell your friends you love them in a not weird way, in a platonic way. Tell your friends you love them. Text your friends right now that you love them. Anyway, I just think that's fun, because I do think it is, in some places, not normal to do that. And it is normal, and we should normalize it. Tell your friends you love them. And have it not be weird. Another thing, in episode 5, when Imogen and Nick are on their not date, and they just sit on the bench, and Nick tells Imogen about how he feels, she does not get defensive or scared or anything when he says he doesn't like her like that. She only starts to get scared and like, we hang out every morning, you know, when he says he doesn't think he fits in with the friend group. And to me, this means she's not scared of losing him as a romantic interest. It's not a big deal to her. She's scared of losing him as a friend. And I relate so hard to that. You know, like, the reason that you don't tell someone you like them is not because you care if they reject you, but you care if they reject you as a friend as well. And so, I don't know, that moment when Imogen basically accepts and then really coolly plays it off with Harry the next day that, like, oh, Nick and I just aren't gonna date. I could do so much better. You know, she plays it off so cool, because it's not that she cares about Nick as a romantic interest, it's that she cares about Nick as a person and a friend. And so she's being so cool about it, and just accepting, like, she just accepts it. And at the end, in episode 8, when she gives him a little smile, it's like, Imogen's a fantastic character, and anyone who disagrees can go off and just rewatch the show and just consider how much Imogen actually adds to the story. Okay? But anyway, it's important that people realize that a lot of the times being friend matters more than being a romantic interest. You can get over your romantic interest. You might just want to stay friends. I don't know. I'm just so glad she doesn't push Nick away. And she's not like, ew, you don't like me like that? Then we can't be friends. She's like, you don't like me like that? That's cool, but please can we still be friends? Big props to that. Okay, I have 2 more things. The one thing is sad. Charlie's used to it. God, this just... No! I'm sorry, but no. He just... Oh, the fact that he's used to it. The fact that there's 3 times. So Charlie says it, and Harry says it, and then Nick is like, no! That is not allowed. You shouldn't be used to it. I don't know. That moment, the moment in the classroom, and like, because Harry's like, oh, well, he's probably used to it by now. And Charlie's like, I'm totally used to it. It's not okay. You shouldn't be used to it. And Nick has the right idea. We love Nick. Nick is a king. Nick is my favorite character. Can you tell? Okay. Whew. Okay. The last thing I'm going to mention, which I was rewatching before going to work today. In episode 4, when Charlie's like, oh, I shouldn't have kissed you, there's a moment when Nick is like, wait, what? Before Charlie continues talking and is more just like, I didn't want to ruin the friendship. And Nick's like, oh, okay, cool. Because I think in that moment, Nick is like, wait, Charlie doesn't like me? Oh, man, damn it. And then he realizes Charlie does, and he just didn't want to ruin the friendship, and he thinks Nick doesn't like him back. But there's that moment, and that moment just makes me so happy because first of all, impeccable acting by Kit Connor there. Like, the nuances, oh my god, they're both so good. Sherlock, Kit Connor, wow. But that little moment, what? It's just like, my heart implodes. Anyway. So those are all the things that I have to say about Heartstopper currently. If I have more, maybe I'll do another video, a follow-up. But I hope you liked this video. Yeah, if you did, give it a like. I don't know. I create a lot of stuff. I love Heartstopper. Generally, I talk about books, but today we had to talk about some TV stuff because wow. Also, fun fact, this is the sweater that Nick wears in episode 7, Bully, at the cinema. But they sold out of it. It's from ASOS. So the colors are different because I made it myself because I really wanted it. And then I was like, where's it from? And ASOS was like, we have it, but not anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make it. Now I really have to go to work. So yeah, thank you for watching. I love you so much, every single one of you. Okay, bye.